All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give our praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and head apostles of Great Millstone, Ruwa and Teachwell. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there that scattered abroad and the folk ones of the earth. This your brother Michael come out here again, you know what I'm saying, to pretty much give warnings to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that, hey, the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, is going to bring evils upon the planet earth, man. All right, and you can see how things shaping up around the world. You got food scarcities. You got war talk going on around the world. Okay, you got Esau coming in the beginning stages of coming down, having great wrath. Hey, all these things pretty much links up to the end, which we are living at the end, man. We are pretty much at the end of Esau's rulership. Okay, we're at the end of Esau's empire. Okay, and before his end all the way kick in, hey, this devil, he is set to come down having great wrath. Okay, and that's why, you know what I'm saying, the prophets, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord has set up in these last days is out warning you so-called blessed Spanish Native Indians of these evil times that's going to take place here upon the planet Earth. All right, which I'm going to start off here in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." Okay, and this is you know what I'm saying, taking play right now. This on display right now. You know, the Lord has set up his prophets, you know what I'm saying, to give warning to so-called blessed Spanish Native Indians. Okay. All right. No, we are speaking the words of prophecies in your ears. Okay, these are not our own words. Okay, this is not our own interpretation. And goes on to say, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So these words of the Lord stand. Okay, prophecies are not going to fail. Everything the Lord said he's going to bring these other days, he's going to do it. And right now, what the Lord is doing, he's pretty much giving out the signs and tokens of what he's going to bring. And pretty soon, those signs and tokens are going to, you know what I'm saying, shape it to full reality. In verse 3, it says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." So whether you hear for better, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in what we tell you, okay? Because at the end of the day, we getting your blood off our hands, man. Okay, we doing our part. We giving you the warning, okay? But it's a penalty for not believing. All right, because ultimately, at the end of the day, you're not rejecting us. You're rejecting the Lord, okay? Whether you know it or not. Which in verse 4 it says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." So basically, that's the penalty outline for not believing on the report, for not taking heed, okay, to save your own life, man. All right, because you getting right now, you getting warned and telling you that World War III is for the kickoff, or famine is coming, teeth the wild beasts coming. You know, Esau, the so-called white man, which the Lord swore on the left-hand side is for to come down having great wrath. By you not taking heed, hey, your blood's going to be upon your own head. All right, because you have been getting the warning. Okay, the Lord has set up his prophets in these last days, you know what I'm saying, to pretty much to declare his works. Okay, and one of the Lord works, you know what I'm saying, is him bringing forth these plagues upon the planet Earth. That's what the Lord's going to do. And it's going to come upon the whole world. Which right here in verse 5 it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." And that's what the Lord got coming down the pipeline, man. You know, there's a lot of death that's going to take place, man. Especially here in America, man. Okay, a lot of people feel to die here, man. And the Lord got so many plagues that he put a brain forth. You know what I'm saying? To put a lot of people to death. All right. And we're in that time where the Lord is going to perform the intents of his heart. Because like I said before, hey, right now the Lord is pretty much giving out the signs of what he's going to do. And pretty soon, hey, Lord willing, them signs going to, you know what I'm saying, come into full play. Okay, it's going to come to full perfection. And verse 6 says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And ultimately, that's why the Lord could bring these evils. You know what I'm saying? He could bring these players upon the earth, man, because hey, the wicked, you know what I'm saying, is pretty much upsetting the most high. Okay. All the wickedness that's pretty much going on in the world, and you know who pretty much is behind all the wickedness that's going on? Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, he's one that promotes the wickedness here. He promotes everything that's contrary to the ways of Yahweh Bahashim Yahshai. And that's why he gotta be destroyed. And ultimately the place where the wicked have pinched his tents at gotta be destroyed as well. Which essentially here in America, Babylon the Great. This is the house of the wicked. Okay. And before the kingdom be ushered in, and before everything going to righteousness, this place here first has to be destroyed. All right. So we can come to some, but first of all, man, we can come to some very heavy times, man. Times like none other. Times, you know what I'm saying, that haven't been recorded in history, man. Okay. And that's going to consist of the time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. Well, that time is going to be so great. Okay, so bad to the point to where Michael the archangel got to stand up. Okay. Matter of fact, let me grab some real quick. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. And who is Michael? One of the archangels. Okay. And it says, the great prince, it's like the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And what time is this referring to? This time of trouble? This will be the time of Jacob's trouble. What's going to consist of the time where you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians going through your trials and tribulations. Okay? Well, this time is going to be like a time never, you know what I'm saying, since there was since a nation. Okay? Even the Atlantic slave trade ain't going to have nothing on this time that the Lord's for the brain, man. Okay? But it's only going to be a small remnant that's going to be preserved from this time. And that's going to be the Lord's precious elect. He 144,000. Ooh, that tells you. Oh, like you have about shot mercy. Hey, and Lord willing, we be part of that number. But it's all about who enduring to the end. So let's get the book of Jeremiah. Chapter 30, verse 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Was this the speak of the same time of trouble that we just got to reading about in the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, in the first verse? Okay, that time of trouble is talking about Jacob's trouble, man. But that time is at hand. Okay, we know Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, he's going to come down having great wrath, man. All right. He's going to come with his U.S. martial law. Okay, he's going to come down having great wrath on these so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But ultimately, in reality, the main target is the elect. That's who the devil is targeting. Okay. So, and it says, but he shall be saved out of it. And who is the he? The elect. Okay. Which again, that's who the devil is targeting, the elect. But he's not going to be able to harm the elect. So the Lord's going to be with his elect. Okay. So let me get another. Let's go back here to the book of Daniel. All right, so this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, starting at, from the top in verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand up for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, which is this time of trouble. Speaking of Jacob's trouble, all right, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So pretty much this time is going to pretty much top out all the bad times that ever been recorded in history. All right, and you're going to need the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua with you to get through these times, man. All right, because you ain't gonna be able to be carnally. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to win this spiritual war currently, man. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to rely on your SKs, your AKs, your Dracos, or none of that. Okay, but ultimately you're gonna fail because ultimately, you know, you can't beat the sword with a sword in a sense. Well, Esau, the so-called white man, he was you know, blessed with the sword. That's his blessing. Okay, so if you trying to come up against him with his blessing, someday he designed to use, you're gonna lose. You're gonna fall, man. You know, you're gonna need the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua in these little days, man, to protect you, to guide you in every way. That's the only way you're gonna make it, man. Is through with the help of Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua. And goes on to say, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Yeah, meaning those who be found accounted worthy to escape these times. And the ones that are going to be found worthy to escape is the Lord's elect. Okay? That's who the Lord's going to preserve from this time. All right, the 144,000 of the nation of Israel. So let me get another scripture here in the book of Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And who is the devil is referring to is Esau, the so-called white man. No, he's the deceiver, man. Okay, the one that deceived the nations, man. Okay, he's going to come down having great wrath. We in that time of season. Okay, well, the Lord's going to allow this man to come down having great wrath. All right, and and right now, he pushes forth his new world order. He bringing forth his MOTB. That MOTB. His wicked device. All right, but ultimately, like I said before, the devil's main target is to come upon the righteous, man, the Lord's elect. Matter of fact, let's jump down verse 17 here in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and this dragon is symbolic to Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, in Israel, it's the woman. It's symbolic to the woman. All right, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Okay, and who is the remnant? Which keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Pretty much the prophets. Pretty much in general is the elect. That's what the devil's, main focus to come down upon. All right, because it ain't by coincidence. Who else is exposing this devil? By his true identity. Okay, who is making it known that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of? He is the man that pretty much pollutes the whole earth. Okay, he is the source of all the wickedness that's taking place upon the earth. Okay, Hey, the prophets doing it that the Lord has set up in these last days. And humbly saying, it's the men of great millstone, okay, which are the true prophets that the Lord has set up in these last days. All right. And it's obvious who else going out there prophesying and teaching the nations about the things that's going to come to pass beforehand. It'll be no other than the men of great millstone, starting with the elders and head apostles, all the way down to the bishops, all the way down to the like-minded brothers that pretty much teach the same teachers. Okay. And these devils know who got the truth, man. All right. And it's obvious. Look who channels getting struck, okay, for certain content. Okay. Yeah, that's a big sign right there, letting you know, hey, who got the truth? So the devil, you know what I'm saying, he is so vexed to now he trying to stop the truth from getting out there. And ultimately it's gonna come to a time to where, hey, they're gonna cost, you know what I'm saying, the family of the word. Well, that's a prophecy that's at hand right now. Okay, the Lord is for the pretty much have it so to where he for the pretty much use Esau, you know what I'm saying, to stop this word going out by the way of shutting down brothers YouTube channels. Okay, no, creating more YouTube guidelines, you know, and ultimately the Lord's gonna take his prophets from out the streets, from out the corners of the streets. Okay, and that's why we telling you, you know what I'm saying, to take heed, you know what I'm saying, to this report. Eat now while it's hot. Cause pretty soon, man, you ain't gonna be able to eat. You ain't gonna be able to get all this information that you're getting now from out the YouTube. Cause the Lord's for to wrap this thing up, man. If you've been paying attention to the signs that's been going on around the world, and you will see that the Lord's for to wrap this thing up. Okay, you see prophecy is speeding up, man. You see? So so this is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, and verse 8. It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Ashad than to put confidence in man." All right. So pretty much, it's better to trust in Yahweh Bahashim Ashad. All right. And not put trust in man, not to put trust in Esau, the so-called white man. So Esau, he's going to come with so many delusional lies to where he going to persuade many, you know what I'm saying, for people to bow down to his beast system and to take their MOTB. Okay. No, he gonna tell you that, hey, if you take this chip in your hand or in your forehead, hey, you can better buy from stores again. You better pretty much participate in society, move around how you want. You can be healed from all your sicknesses or whatsoever. And a lot of people who don't have the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shah, hey, people, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna fall for it. All right. But you gotta trust in the Lord, man. Okay. This be a time trusting Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shah. Because if anybody who take that man wicked device in their body, you know what I'm saying, no matter what, hey, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay. And you can't, you know what I'm saying, panic, you know what I'm saying, when Esau, when you're facing death, when Esau decided to push you to death for not receiving his device, his wicked device inside of you. Like scripture say, what Yahweh Shah said, roughly paraphrasing, and who should lose his life for my sake shall find it. Okay. But whoever shall save his life shall lose it. So basically, if you you know what I'm saying, die, you know what I'm saying, being faithful to Yahweh Bahashim Shah on his side, hey, the Lord's gonna honor that. And you're gonna be the first one to be risen up when Yahweh Shah come back with the host of heaven. Okay. But if you decide to save your life, okay, like for prime example, what we on now, talking about the chip. You decide to take that chip, you know what I'm saying, to save your own life, to prevent yourself from starving to death. Okay, but that's one thing Esau, you know what I'm saying, would try to do. You know what I'm saying, would starve you out. You know what I'm saying, to get you to take his thing. All right, but hey, if you decide to take it to save your own life, hey, you're gonna lose it because it's a big penalty. You know what I'm saying, for receiving Esau's corruption inside your body. Which when you go here, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, and starting at verse 9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim Yahshai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." See? So ultimately, that's the penalty. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna, you know what I'm saying, pretty much have a missile with your name on it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles if you receive this man mark in the presence of Yahweh Shai and in the presence of the holy angels, man. Okay? And yeah, we in that time to where Esau, the so-called white man, is gonna come down having great wrath, man. You know, this man for the he's not gonna spare none. Okay? He's not gonna care about nobody being a child, you know, about you being a pretty woman, about you being homeless, rich, or whatever. Okay, if you ain't getting with Esau program, hey, he ain't gonna have no cares for you, man. You know, that why it's best, you know what I'm saying, trusting Yahweh Bahashim Yahshai. Okay, because the Lord, he is using this man as a weapon to come down and have him great wrath. All right, he calls this man to do all the wickedness that he's doing, so he can destroy him for the wickedness that he's doing. That shows you how cold the Lord is, man. You know, the Lord, yeah, you know, the Lord will have mercy on whom he will have mercy. And the Lord will show compassion on who he will have, on whom he will have compassion on. See? And that's why we hope that we are part of the Lord's elect. Okay? But the elect is going to be preserved, you know, from these evil and perilous times that's going to take place in this earth, in these last days. See? So, get another precept. Here in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 17, it says, "Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days?" See? There's a question mark behind it. Esdras, he's seen this vision. You know, he's seen the evils that's going to take place here. That's why he said, "Woe is me, woe is me." And what that word woe mean? Death and destruction. Okay? And that's what the Lord is for the pretty much bring upon this place, death and destruction. All right? And that's why we encourage you so-called blessed Spanish name Indians to come out of this place, man, and receive now our plagues, America, Babylon, the great plagues. So the Lord got plagues set for this place, man. Okay? Right before he ultimately destroyed. So let's get verse 18. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?" Right. And this song you should be meditating on, man, because the Lord could bring, he could bring a grievous famine, here to America. Okay, and you can see that process is slowly coming in. Water sources being cut off, a lot of food being recalled, a lot of food is being contaminated. Okay, the Lord, you know what I'm saying, bring forth these pestilences. Okay, newly created diseases. All right, and also as well, you can see the teeth of our beasts being sparked up. The Lord putting the animals, putting the spirit on these animals, what I'm saying, to attack people. What I'm saying, to a lot unalive people as well. Okay, so hey, these things are the doors, man. They're the Lord's for the brain here, man. The Lord's for the brain eagles, man. And the wise thing to do is to trust in the Lord, man. Hope to be preserved. You know what I'm saying? Pray and ask the Lord to keep you from these signs, man. Ask the Lord to give you patience. You know what I'm saying? Give you more faith to endure to the end. Okay? Because you're going to need faith in these last days to trust in the Lord. Hope. You know what I'm saying? His mercy and grace. All right? All right, so let's read verse 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of these scourges." So even so, okay, you got, what I'm saying, the wicked go continuously be wicked, of course. But also as well, you gonna have 2/3 of the so-called blessed Spanish nation Indians, of the nation of Israel, they're gonna be wicked, man. You know, gonna continue on in their rebellion against the Most High. Okay, and that's why the Lord, what I'm saying, is gonna cut out 2/3, man. Okay, but for their rebellion. Okay, and let's read on. Verse 21. "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves like that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." Right. So everything seems real laid back. Everything seems real cozy and comfortable right now. Okay, because you can still, what I'm saying, go to the grocery stores, what I'm saying, buy food, you can still sit at home on the couch, eat, watch TV or whatever. But hey, those who say peace and safety, then shall suddenly destruction come upon them. So right when you always set into your comfort zone, and that when the Lord is going to ultimately, what I'm saying, bring forth these great evils, man. Okay? Right when you're in your comfort zone, right when you ain't paying attention. Now you're gonna catch you underwhelming, man. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be caught off guard. Because for one, you Americans not watching. Okay? Y'all relying on what the government telling you, y'all relying with these politics, you know what I'm saying, with these basically y'all believing what Esau tell you. Put it like that. But y'all not even considering what the Lord saying he's gonna do. The Lord said he's gonna bring evils upon the planet Earth, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna bring a grievous famine here to America. The food supplies will be cut off. Okay. You got water droughts going on. You got food recalls going on. You got food being contaminated. Food that you eat for health benefits like your strawberries, blueberries, and stuff like that. Lettuce and all that. Hey, that's being cut off. That's being contaminated. But it's also showing you, man, that hey, the Lord's gonna bring this thing. He's gonna bring the evils, man, whether you ready or not. That way you always gotta be ready, man. You gotta be ready for Yahweh Bahashim Shai. Because you never know when the Lord's gonna make the next move. Okay? That's why it's best to hope in the Lord's mercy and grace. Okay? So yeah. And it's gonna be great confusion going up in, what I'm saying, happening in the world, man, as well. A lot of great confusion. Okay, people are not gonna know what's going on around them. People gonna be wondering why You know what I'm saying? Grocery stores being shut down. They wonder why people dying off. That was wonder why the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying, going to come down, having great rep. You know, you gonna wonder why martial law kicking in your door, catching away your goods, taking away your food away from you. You know, or why you women getting ravished, getting snatched up, or whatever. Hey, right now you being warned of these things, man. The Lord has set up His prophets early, man, to give you people the warning of the impending dangers and evils that's going to take place in these little days. But many of you is not taking heed unto the warning. And ultimately, it's because that pride that you in, that pride mindset you in, that proud state you in. But man, great missions is going to be done unto you, man. Those who walk in great pride. See? Uh, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, and I'm gonna jump over here to verse 71. It say, "They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." Yeah, so pretty much, Esau's gonna come down having great wrath, with his U.S. martial law. He's gonna be casting people out of their houses, taking away people's goods. Okay, but ultimately, man, the ones that are gonna be left standing strong during that time is the Lord's elect. Okay, and like how you know between real gold and fake gold, you try it in fight. Okay, and right, and pretty much the Lord's gonna try His people in fight to see what they made of, to see if they built or not, and it's gonna show in these little days who are the Lord's chosen people are, man. Okay, and verse in verse 74, then second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. Right, so the days of trouble are at hand, man. Very well indeed. Jacob's trouble is at hand. Okay, and it says, but I will deliver you from these same. Right, so the Lord's going to, there's a pep talk from the Lord to those who believe, to those that hope in His mercy and grace, those that hope in His deliverance. Hey, we hoping, what I'm saying, we hoping that the Lord deliver us, man. We hoping the Lord have mercy upon us. We waiting for, we rely on Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua to save us, man. When the days of trouble come. Okay, we ain't looking towards Esau, man, because he's not going to be able to help you, man. So-called white man is not going to be able to help you. He's not going to be able to help you in the days to come. Only Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua is going to be the only one that's going to save and deliver. Okay, but ultimately that come by you having faith in the Lord. Got to add that in there. Got to have faith in the Lord, and it goes for me too as well. All right, y'all got to have that faith to believe that the Lord's going to come to our rescue. Okay, when the evil times approach upon the planet Earth, and it goes on to say, "Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua is your God, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves." Yeah, so pretty much, we hope in the Lord's mercy and grace, what I'm saying, that will be repent daily. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to go off, especially here in America, Babylon Great, because everywhere you turn, what I'm saying, you're bound to fall off. All right, and that was, hey, the water Yahweh shot. The water for Yahweh shot, man. You know what I'm saying? Because without Yahweh shot, hey, we've been there a long time ago. Okay? But yeah, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Hey, no matter what goes on, hey, always have your faith and trust in the Lord, man. Because the Lord, He's the one that's gonna save, you know what I'm saying, deliver. You know, He know those that fully got it, their heart and trust set on Him. See, let me get I'm gonna get close it out. I'm gonna get one more precept. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Shai is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. So Yahweh Bahashim Shai, hey, ultimately going to be the only resource, you know what I'm saying, to be to protect you in the days of trouble that's ahead, which is at hand. All right. And who the Lord is going to be a stronghold to in that day? And He knoweth them that trust in Him. Right. So basically, those who trust in Him, those who have the faith in Him, to believe that He's going to come to your rescue, no matter how difficult or how odd the situation may be that you are placed in. Hey, you still gotta have that faith to believe, hey, that the Lord is able. He can do. Hey, roughly paraphrase. It's a scripture. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, bear me real quick. This is the book of Saint Mark, chapter 10 and verse. I'm gonna start at verse 25, but the point is at verse 27. All right, so this is the book of Saint Mark, chapter 10, starting at verse 25. It says, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Shai. And they were astonished out of measure, saying among themselves, who then can be saved? And Yahweh Shai, looking upon them, saith, with men it is impossible, but not with Yahweh Bahashim Shai. For with Yahweh Bahashim Shai, all things are possible. All right, and that's enough right there to comfort you right there, man. You know what I'm saying? No matter what may seem impossible for you, oh, and that's cool, and that's cold right there. That says say overcome. They call it Yahweh Bashim Shai. Hey, no matter how impossible things may seem on this side, and this go for me too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, trusting in the Lord and believing on the Lord, man, having faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. You know, the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Made things that seem impossible men possible. No, all things are possible with Yahweh Bahashim Shai. Okay? I'm gonna say it again. Hey, no matter whatever situation that you may be placed in, okay, what situation that seem odd, that you can't see your way out of it. Hey, always remember, man, all things are possible with Yahweh Bahashim Shai. All right, and it goes for me too as well. Hey, all things are possible with Yahweh Bahashim Shai. I said, Lord willing, this is edifying. And as always, I'd like to end by giving our praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and head apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there that scattered abroad in the four corners of the earth. Till next time I say Shalom.